Hello, everyone. Juxtaposition here. Take a look at this handsome coffee mug. Do get yourself one of these. These are coveted. Check the link on Coffee Time with Juxtaposition to obtain one of these handsome coffee mugs. All right, so today's video is an update. Mark Sanchez, criminal and civil trials. We have two complaints filed, one in criminal court and one in civil court in Marion County, Indiana. That's in Indianapolis, California, if you were wondering. We're going to revisit the case when we have more information. You do know there's been three continuances. This has to do with the felony assault by Mark Sanchez, who at one time was an NFL quarterback for the New York Jets, who is also a Rose Bowl winning quarterback for the University of Southern California, USC, where he played for Pete Carroll, and he won a Rose Bowl for USC, right? And of course, USC is known for O.J. Simpson, who won a Heisman Trophy while attending USC, and Marcus Allen, who shared the same girlfriend wife, Nicole Brown. He played at USC also, and all three players played in the NFL, which stands for not for long. This all stems from October 4th, 2025 felony assault in the alleyway easement, which divides the Marriott Hotel with the Westin Hotel. And this was a Friday night where Mark Sanchez had been drinking heavily at the bar at the restaurant there, about 2 blocks away from where the incident happened. He was probably staying at one of the two hotels, either the Westin or the Marriott. We've never learned which hotel Mark Sanchez was staying. He flew in that Friday to meet with his colleagues for meetings having to do with a Sunday football game, NFL Sunday. And they went to the bar drinking, and in and around 11:59 midnight, Mark Sanchez, who was allegedly on methamphetamines, cocaine, alcohol, and whatever corticosteroids products that he normally uses, because every football player is a drug addict, 100%. Not just O.J. Simpson, not just Marcus Allen, not just your personal favorite player, including the most valuable player of the NBA Finals, which was fixed and rigged finals, where New York Knicks, the only way they were ever going to win an NBA championship is if you rigged it, right? Anyway, they rig all the championships, so the Golden State Warriors wouldn't have won a championship, but they weren't fixed. Also, anyway, Mark Sanchez was doing wind sprints in that alleyway and Mark Sanchez was 38 years old, and while he's not a professional athlete anymore, he's still on a boatload of steroids. He's every bit of 6'4", 230 pounds or so. He's built much like Scott Erickson is built, who is similarly drug addict for the Major League Baseball. All Major League Baseball players are drug addicts. All Olympic athletes are, not just Caitlyn Jenner, aka Bruce Jenner, not just Marion Jones or Tori Edwards or Regina Jacobs or let's see, pick another Olympic champion that you like, Carl Lewis. They're all drug addicts, 100%. FloJo, she died, I think, at 34. Heart attack. That makes sense, right? Anyway, Mark Sanchez was doing his burning off his drinking from the steakhouse, which I will bring up the name of the steakhouse in the complaint in a minute. When a 69-year-old gentleman by the name of Perry Toll he's a recycling kitchen oil tanker. He comes in around midnight and collects all of the spent or used kitchen oil and then redeposits the fresh kitchen oil into the tanks. And he's been doing that job for at least 10 years. Anyway, he drives in and he parks half into the loading zone for the Westin Hotel, and his truck cab was partially obstructing the easement alleyway. whereupon Mark Sanchez was upset because he had to run around the truck in this alleyway, which I guess Mark Sanchez considered that his own personal track and field area, which of course it isn't. It's not even clear he was staying at either of the hotels. So for all I know, Mark Sanchez was trespassing. Anyway, he commands the driver to leave. The driver says, I'll check with the manager. And Sanchez says it's illegal to park your truck in this alley. And he says, well, I parked here before, no problems. He comes back telling Mark Sanchez he spoke with the hotel manager and it's perfectly okay for him to park his truck there whilst he's recycling the oil, the kitchen oil, cooking oil. The cooking oil, I guess, is the technical term for it. And then Sanchez gets physical, grabs him. Um, then the situation escalates. Perry Toyle is in fear of his life. He pepper sprays Mark Sanchez. Had no effect whatsoever. He pulls a knife, stabs Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez grabs the knife out of Perry Toll's hand and stabs Perry Toll. Then he picks him up, carries him across the alleyway, and throws him into a dumpster, a garbage dumpster there, and then walks away wounded, badly bleeding throughout the alley. Perry Toll has to be taken to the ICU, get emergency treatment. And then from that, there was the 9/11 responders showed up around 12:15, 12:20, something like that. And they couldn't arrest Mark Sanchez because he was bleeding, so he's taken to the hospital, and they didn't breathalyze him right away. Not even sure if they ever did do a blood breathalyzer on him, but there are witnesses who will testify that he did a substantial amount of drinking at the steakhouse across the way from this area. And to wrap it up, the Mark Sanchez stabbing incident was Saturday in the wee hours around midnight, Saturday, October 4th, 2025. So, like 9 months ago. And what I want you to know is that it was really Friday night, October 3rd was when Mark Sanchez was over at the bar drinking with his colleagues. And I want to give you the name of that steakhouse before I forget. And I know I have it right here. I just can't find it. It's crazy. I have all this stuff here. You should know that in the subsequent investigation, Mark Sanchez was asked to surrender himself to the Marion County Jail, be fingerprinted and booked. He was released on $300 of bail premium. I think it's a $3,000 bail amount. He did have to appear at an arraignment hearing for the judge. And then he was subsequently, his misdemeanor assault charges were upgraded to felony number 5. So a low-degree felony for assaulting, and the severity of the injuries suffered by Perry Toll. Perry Toll then saw lawyers and filed a civil complaint against Mark Sanchez concurrently with the Marion County District Attorney filing criminal charges. So there's 2 different cases in 2 different courts that are going on, and the criminal case has been continued 3 times. And it is now continued out to July 13th, 2026 is the next time. It very possibly could be continued a 4th time. So I will keep you posted. What you should know is that the civil complaint initially named Fox Sports and the Fox News Corporation, or the Fox Corporation, Fox Network, as a guilty party, along with Mark Sanchez personally. It was amended to include the steakhouse, which is, again, in close proximity. And so that the steakhouse overserved Mark Sanchez alcoholic beverages, which contributed to his felonious activity. The original lawsuit was filed very quickly after the incident on October 6, 2025, which named only Mark Sanchez and the Fox Corporation as defendants. However, on November 21st, 2025, the complaint was then amended to add House Culinary Incorporated, which is a chain of restaurants, and the specific operator named in this case is St. Elmo's Steakhouse, St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, which is in the same general zip code as is the Westin Hotel where the incident happened, where the truck was parked. where the Marriott Hotel and the Westin share the easement. So there are three defendants in the civil case, and that is in civil court. This alleges that the St. Elmo Steakhouse overserved, quote unquote, Mark Sanchez with alcoholic beverages the night before, which is Friday night, October 3rd, 2025. Marion Superior Court is the jurisdiction where these two cases are being heard, and the filing was amended and submitting just weeks before the Mark Sanchez criminal trial was scheduled and then continued until March 2026. There was a third continuance granted in March 2026, which actually pushed it to May. That was the second continuance, and then May was shoved to July 13th to 2026. So we've had essentially three continuances granted. Got it? So anything else I need to tell you about this story? It should never have happened. According to court documents, Perry Toll, a 69-year-old driver for the Restaurant Technologies Company, was on a delivery of cooking oil to the Westin Hotel's loading dock in an alleyway that separated the Westin and Marriott downtown hotels in Indianapolis at around midnight, which puts us on October 4th, 2025, in the wee hours of Saturday morning. There are surveillance frames. There's well over 100 surveillance imagery that will be submitted for both cases. Surveillance, there's also witness accounts of the place before and after the altercations at the Westin's loading dock area where the assault occurred, in the back of the Westin Hotel there, and on the easement, in and around the truck that was driven for what is called Restaurant Technologies cooking delivery truck. It also reclaims used vegetable oil as well. Perry Toyle was confronted by former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. Again, he's a USC alum, a Rose Bowl winning quarterback, and a New York Jet quarterback. The Westin Indianapolis Hotel is located on West Washington Street in the downtown of Indianapolis, and the fight took place in the alley directly behind the Westin Hotel in their loading dock bay area. All right, that's it. That's my video for today. Do like and share my videos. Do know I am shadow banned, so not as many people see my videos as should. And do look to buy one of these cups. You do need to contribute some do-re-mi to me and get one of these handsome cups. And at least $150 would be appreciated. You can do more than that. And I do recommend becoming a paid member. You don't have to. You can also mail money to my P.O. box of any amount. That's it for today. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.